Welcome back. The Chief of Naval Operations told you about the plans he wants Congress to support to build out his fleet and its capabilities. Two of the power brokers in Congress he has to convince, though, want more detail than they've gotten so far. Congressman Joe Courtney of Connecticut's chairman of the House Armed Services Seapower Subcommittee. Rob Wittman of Virginia is the ranking member. In my exclusive conversation with him at the Navy League Sea Airspace 2021 virtual preview, Congressman Courtney explained what he'd like to see from the Navy that's missing right now.
When you're dealing with a new administration who, again, was a little late bringing over the budget, it's not uncommon that it's not accompanied by some of the multi-year documents that I think both Mr. Wittman and I, having done this for a while, are convinced are really important, whether it's a 5-year fit-up or a 30-year shipbuilding plan. There is no fit-up, and in fairness to the Biden administration, that was the case with the prior administration and the administration before the Trump administration. It really going all the way back to Bush. The incoming team, kind of reserves the right to present a fit-up on the second budget year. Nonetheless, that's still kind of frustrating because, when you're trying to figure out a spending plan and an authorization plan, it would be nice to have a little bit of visibility out further into the future. The purported document called a 30-year shipbuilding plan, in all honesty, I see it really as the 1-year budget plus sort of ranges of ships in the future, which is not, in my opinion, really what the law contemplated, that Congress passed for a 30-year shipbuilding plan. So I think, there's obviously some signals included in that document about fleet architecture and where I think priorities are going to be in terms of different platforms. But it's still, frankly, does not have the precision that I would prefer personally. And as a result, I think the subcommittee is doing a lot of follow-up questions, both at the staff level and member level, to really press the Navy to explain, what is the thinking behind cutting a destroyer in the president's budget, given, the aging out of the cruisers, which again is still an issue that we're trying to resolve, but certainly in terms of the cruisers, radars and air defense command systems that I think new destroyers will actually fill that role. So again, I'm really lucky to have a great partner like Rob Wittman. We've worked together for a long time. We've got staff that also is extremely stable and experienced, has lots of institutional knowledge. And I think, as the last few years, we're going to be really using our own best judgment in terms of trying to put together a balanced plan in as I said, in a transition year, which is the way I would really describe it in terms of, the leadership, which is still acting at the Department of Navy, and a new team that's over at the SecDef's office that we're basically communicating with. So I'll stop there and yield to my friend.
Congressman Wittman, welcome. It's good to talk to you again. What do you see in the shipbuilding plan and some of the other documents the Navy's presented? Similar things, similar takeaways for you to your colleague?
Well, first of all, Francis, thank you for emceeing this, and thank you to the Navy League and to Sea Airspace. What a great opportunity, as the chairman said, to get back together. And I want to really thank my colleague and chairman of the subcommittee, Joe Courtney, for his tremendous work. If you look at the 30-year shipbuilding plan, I believe that there are a number of shortcomings there. Title 10, Section 231 is very specific about what should be in a shipbuilding plan. This plan is not that. It lacks the details necessary to really determine where we are going. It is critical that we modernize the Navy. The things that are very concerning about this plan is the lack of specificity about how we get to the statutory requirement of 355 ships. And the Future Naval Force Structure Assessment previously said we ought to be on track to about 400 ships by 2038. This plan does not get us there. And much of what goes on, as the chairman pointed out, happens outside the future years defense plan, better known as the fit-up. So I always argue that, all of our dreams as far as the Navy that we need come true outside the fit-up, which is not a realistic pathway to be able to get there. The thing that concerns me about this is not just the ships that it doesn't build, but the ships that it retires while not having a plan to build complementary ships. If you look at it, it retires 11 cruisers. That's 1,200 vertical launch system missile tubes. That's an incredible amount of capacity we lose there. 8 LSDs. The Commandant has said that the floor for the Marine Corps is 31 amphibious ships. This plan says 24 to 28, which is, in the Commandant's words, unacceptable risk. The challenge going forward, too, is what are we doing with other platforms? It is not putting us on the proper path as far as building surface ships like the destroyers, as the chairman pointed out. Also making sure, too, that there's the right pathway to sustainment. And that is not just building the ships, but also making sure that we have the ship maintenance capability that's there.